Prince Malik Shabazz. We back at y'all one more time. We're going to talk about melanin today and exactly what that is, because it's a popular phrase, a word right now. Excuse me. Melanin is a popular word right now. It's going around the black community, and that's a good thing, but a lot of people don't know exactly what it is. You know, a lot of people are affectionate with melanin right now because it is it's empowering even the people who don't know what the word is, because it is breathing life into a substance that determines your skin color, and the darker you are, the more melanin you have. But basically what melanin is a material or the result of a chemical reaction that can be found in everything in the universe. Like melanin is not just skin deep. Melanin can be found in your organs, your blood, ultraviolet sun rays, the dark matter that's in space. Melanin is the determining factor for the way that your hair grows, the way that your hair follicles are energized through electrolysis. Melanin is also can be produced through conventional technology. It is the primary determinant of skin color, and it also has various applications as a compound in ultraviolet light and radiation protection. Antioxidants, pharmaceuticals, and cosmetics harness melanin, and it's a multi-trillion-dollar industry. And as black people, what we have to understand is that, or people of color, or melanated people, what you have to understand is that you are worth more dead than you are alive. So when you see the number of black women that are coming up missing and being found without organs, or being found a substantial amount of time later, to where when the body decays, when everybody dies, you go through a process of things. Rigor mortis, your bowels pass, your bladder passes, everything starts to die. Your blood coagulates, and the thing that constantly produces this melanin, it begins to go through a particular process too. This is why when you find corpses, they all look gray, because you begin to lose some of the electrolysis and chemical reactions that go on in the body from a living body with a functioning central nervous system, with a functioning brain and heart. You begin to decay, and your melanin leaves you. So when you see women, black women primarily, or people of color coming up missing, what you have to understand is that they are not coming up missing for a reason. This is an industry. Human trafficking has always been an industry, especially here in the United States of America. When you look at other economies or other superpowers of countries in the world, they have natural resources like sugar, for instance, in Cuba, or cocaine, or rice in China. And what happens is, when you look at the United States of America and the history of the USA, our economy has always been the imports and exchange of people, or the purchase of people, or the death of people. The United States of America has gained a lot of its riches through war, and the spoils of war go as such. If I win a war, I get to control your natural resources, I get to control your governing body, and I get to control your banking and your riches. So you have to know that when you look at a person like Muammar Gaddafi, who was killed a few years back, he was the leader of Libya. This man owned the second largest amount of gold in the world. That means he was number 2 on the list of men who had the most gold in the world. So when this man passed away, you have to understand that the United States of America not only controlled this man's financial state after he passed, they were able to control the government, or reestablish their own government, and they basically amassed a lot of money. They got a lot of money. But you have to ask yourself, where did this money go? Where did this money go? Gold today is worth $40.78 a gram. $40.78 a gram. That's a lot of money to pay for a gram of a substance that is made naturally. It's a natural resource. We find that here underground, all the time, because gold is the solidificant of cosmic dust that comes from the sun that is solidified through whatever natural processes happen here in our natural atmosphere. Now, that keep in mind, I said gold is worth $40.78 a gram. Melanin, on the other hand, is worth $384.50 a gram. I'm going to say that again. Melanin is worth $384.50 a gram. So, a few minutes ago, I just told you that melanin is more than skin deep. It's in your organs. It's in your eye follicles, your hair follicles, your liver, your stomach, your heart, your lungs, your spleen, your gallbladder, everything. So you tell me how much money a black person is worth if melanin is worth $384.50 a gram. An average 160-pound little skinny black guy running up and down the street, or a 175-pound black woman to get found with no organs, with no ovaries. So it's starting to sound like a science fiction movie, but that's because this shit is all scientific. It's been scientific. When you got comedians that could come out with movies like Get Out, and what you seeing is the same game of racism, but just with different players. White supremacy is a phrase that people don't think about a lot. Because when you think about white supremacy, you just think about a racist person. And white supremacy is deeper than that. It literally means the white on a supreme level. Not no little skinheads or KKK members or trailer park trash or somebody that just really don't like you and they give you a hard time. They might call you nigga occasionally or something like that. I'm talking about people in a position of power. People who can really make a difference in your life. You know what I'm saying? People on an elite level. These the same people that know they smart. They control science. They control the space institutions like NASA, which is a joke. They control the churches. They control the multi-billion-dollar businesses, the families that have been molding the world and the banking system for hundreds and hundreds of years. That's white supremacy. And these are the people that also understand that it's deeper than just not liking us. They know that they're inferior at this point, genetically. So what the movie Get Out was about racism on an elite level, to where these people were snatching bodies. These are so intelligent that they know that your DNA is superior, but they still think that your mind is inferior. The phrase mind over matter is real powerful. So snatching bodies and putting their consciousness in your body. This is a movie from a comedian. You know what I'm saying? But that shit ain't funny. It's really real. So if you are a melanated person here in 2017 or 18 or whenever you get this message, you got to understand that you are under siege, you are under attack, and it's deeper than what you think is going on. It's really not a joke. It hits very close to home when you see people of no celebrity, or people that have no reason to be extorted or exploited other than the reason that they black or brown. You got to know that you under attack. So melanin is also the determining factor in the dominance of your genes. So when you look at a race of people who, again, these white supremacists know that they are one of the weaker races or species of humans on these in this world that we live in, on this globe, especially in the United States of America, because they are a global superpower. And when you look at the United States of America, you have to know that this is a coalition of the settlers who came here in the 15 and 1400s. These people know that they won't be here long. So when you look at the intermingling of different races, and when black women give birth, or brown people give birth, the theft of placentas and the theft of that cord blood, that raw blood that houses explosions of melanin on scales that they can measure I've heard scientists say they compared it to the Big Bang. They can't get that nowhere else. So when you look at these young black girls who coming up missing, who coincidentally are around the age where they just coming on their first periods, and this massive amount of energy is going on through their bodies right now. You have to know what's going on. There's no such thing as a coincidence. So we in the middle of a new war. And the type of war that we're going through is a war of science. And it's very, very intricate. So when you look at how the church, in my last discussion I was talking about the church waging war against the black man, and what they sought to do with their army, who was the Knights Templar and the Knights Columbus, was to send missionaries into your indigenous places of life, where you from, where you live, where you grew up, forever and ever and ever, told the same stories, ate off of that land, and reproduced and made children and carried the same generations of customs. They came into these places with a story of Jesus and different characters, and this great story, this big story. This sounded a little bit like what you already had going on in your system of beliefs. But they told you that it just wasn't right, and they replaced it. That was the war that was going on now. It was a war of information. It was a war of science. Because when you listen to those stories, it wasn't just to get you to behave a particular way. There was some real thought out stories. I mean, some trippy shit. You know what I'm saying? To get you to think a particular way. And that method of madness is called psychology. It's nothing different than what's going on today. It's a psychological battle, but it is more informed. Today, people have more information. Back then, they was killing us for being able to read and write. Today, everybody is expected to read and write. And you even have access to an internet, which they also call the super information highway. That means information is coming at you rapidly, very, very fast. So everybody is very informed today. But the war is still psychological. So how do I win a psychological war now that I was fighting back then? Everybody was pretty much fucking stupid or dumb to what I was doing. Now, people are informed to what I'm doing. The average young person is against the government, against conform, against the system. They don't even know what the fuck the system is. They're just against it. So they have to fight now twice as hard, or either be twice as smart to win this same psychological battle. And it's a psychological battle of science. Because what the church also did when they came through on these pillages is they made sure that they outlawed the sciences. Astrology, neurology. Any science, any word that ends in ology means it's a science. Any word. So when you look at the studies of people and civilizations, the only ology or science that you have is Egyptology. So they made sure that they separated the customs of science from religion when they gave you this religion, so they could win this psychological war that we are fighting right now. And it's a war against you melanated people. It's been that. It's still a white supremacist war, but they know that they can't win and still maintain that look. So now it's about control more than ever. When Hitler eradicated all of those Jews, it wasn't just about no senseless killings and no senseless murder. Hitler was interested in powering dead bodies, literally. I bullshit you not. When you play the Call of Duty and you look at the zombie mode, it's no mystery why they tied the Nazis to that zombie mode, because Hitler was interested in the same type of neurological warfare. This man knew that if he could control a person's neurons, or even utilize or harness the same technology that people use today in the medical field to put in the quadriplegics so they can power their wheelchairs simply off of thought. I'm not talking about the ones that you blow in the tubes and they move. I'm talking about they think it and shit pops up on computer screens. Words. They think it and the chair moves. This is the same technology that can be used to harness a fully functional brain. When I was a young man, they had a movie called Robocop that came out. And they had a character, a villain named Kane. And Kane went through an accident. He was so horribly disfigured, and his body was dead, but his brain still worked because Robocop had messed him up real bad. What they did was they took Kane's brain and his spinal column, along with his whole central nervous system. Okay? It was just a brain and a spine with cords hanging out of it. And this man was still alive. They put shit in movies to sensationalize it But you have to understand, when they put a concept in the film, it's because these folks have already mastered it. They have it down to a science and a T. And what they're trying to do now is sensationalize it to the masses. So in the event when the shit hits the fan, it won't be a chaotic uproar. You know, people will have a sense of deja vu before they have a sense of urgency, because I saw it in the movie. So the neurological warfare that's going on, and has been going on for a long time, with Hitler trying to kill off all of these Jews because he felt that they were unnecessary. But that much death is unnecessary. Hitler was also a genius. He knew that he could use them folks that he thought was a waste to his advantage if his idea of powering these dead bodies did work. So when you look at the cloning uprise that happened in the 20th century and how it was banned in the United States of America, that can also be used as reference relative to what I'm talking about right now. The armies that these people want to create require soldiers who are very, very durable. So that type of information can be used to support the fact that this warfare that's going on is to create subjects and warriors and maintain an order that has been created a long time ago. But this order that was created requires refinement. So when you hear people tripping over the New World Order, you got to know that the New World been going on since Christopher Columbus came over here and deemed this place the New World. It's nothing new. It's been in the works, and right now you're just witnessing a refinement, like a computer program. Every year or so, Windows will release a new version. Well, what you're looking at is a newer version of the New World Order just coming into implementation. And these people will kill you. They will kill you dead to win this war. But when they kill you, it's a new way to deal with you. It's a new way to deal with you now. They can kill you mentally. They can kill you physically. They can kill you spiritually. Or they can kill your spirit in a manner that reflects social death. Because the social media is the life of the youth now. When you look at Instagram or Facebook, it's almost like news for the youth now. And that's why it shares the name media. When I look at headline news, that's the media. If I get on Instagram, that's also media. But it's the social media. So when I look at children today, it's hard that you find it. You can't find a child that's looking at the news. You understand what I'm saying? But they still have light of the same issues. My father knew about them finding that little girl in the freezer in Chicago because he watches the news. But so did his grandchildren because they log on to Facebook every day. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to know that it's the same entity. It's the same war, but it's just been refined. So when you look at the attacks on social media, it's an information war. It's a war that requires a knowledge of self. But they also use a knowledge of self. That's how they're able to attack you through algorithms. I know exactly what the fuck you into, so I can feed it to you on your Facebook page and your Instagram page. Because I'm gathering information on you. This is the art of war. This is the art of warfare. So this new war that we in is using old tactics, but it's using new tools. You see what I'm saying? So you have to know, if you are melanated, you are under attack, and the more information that you gain on yourself, the greater you will be able to implement a defense mechanism for yourself. Yeah, y'all, this is Prince Malik Shabazz. Just wrapping up the discussion about melanin and the importance of melanin. The information behind melanin, the meaning of melanin, and why you should protect your melanin, because melanin is a multi-trillion-dollar industry right now. And the next discussion we're going to have is about race and species. Race and species, and the difference between the two, and the reason why race was even created. You got to realize that you are a different species from your enemy.